Going to be extremely difficult task for him because the sectors are coming up extremely fast. There is a bit of a gap between until sector 9 and
Pogacar onto the front in the yellow jersey, showing everybody you need to be worried. Fast descent now at 81 kilometers an hour. It shows that he knows these roads very well. Look at the speed of the yellow jersey, who's just riding away from the rest of the peloton. Pogacar is opening up 10 or 20 meters on the rest of the group. And he's got UAE Team Emirates all behind. There's a split starting to form. Remco Evenepoel doesn't like to descend quite this quick, and Tadej is flying his way through the next town. Wow, what an attack. Pogacar is now attacking at the front of this race at 89 kilometers of racing to go. Ducks it into that corner, and now the attack starts to happen. But does he decide, no, let's just relax? We've tested him out a little bit.
I think he really wanted to test him out. He wanted to put a bit of pressure on the descent, but look at the confusion behind.
Remco Evenepoel thinks, no, hang on a minute, you're going nowhere. He starts to go. Pogacar starts to accelerate, and Remco Evenepoel's decided absolutely no way we're letting you have any sort of a gap.
And it has to be Jorgensen who makes the effort behind, and no news of Vingegaard in that little group. Laporte is there as well. He's going to try and neutralize those attacks.
So Jorgensen is there, but where is Vingegaard?
There he is in third position.
He now needs to try and jump across, because this little quartet's a bit dangerous.
Yes, and straight away the Ineos Grenadiers take the front, and it's Turner.
Laporte looks around, says, and I saw Vingegaard talking to the radio. Laporte swings over to try and help Vingegaard here. Remco Evenepoel looking at Tadej Pogacar thinking, do we, don't we, shall we have a go? This is interesting racing, isn't it?
It's interesting, but it's a long task. Look at how organised the Ineos Grenadier team is. Laporte dropping back. But again, how well are the UAE team defending? Straight away on the back wheel of the Ineos Grenadier team, kind of stopping this kind of riders rolling through.
Pogacar is so cute to any opportunity, isn't he? This is Arnaud Delis, Romain Bardet and others. We don't really need to worry about them now. Game over. Race comes back together at the front, so they've rescued it again. Laporte drops back.
It's so interesting to see how Remco is racing so aggressively, and how he seems to have almost teamed up with well, actually with everyone. Every time there's a moment to put the pressure on, he likes racing aggressively. The other day on the descent, he came back to the chasing group. He took responsibilities. When Tadej Pogacar attacks, jumps on the wheel and also rolls through, he doesn't hold back.
No, he likes to race on the front foot all the time. Now Wout van Aert comes back to the front to settle things down a little bit for the team of Visma Lease Bike. If you've just joined us now, the action that's happened so far, group of 10 riders up the road. Here's Ineos's radio.
We don't have another long block of normal road like we just did, okay? The section's going to come thick and fast now, so get organised, get together, get in the front. Like we saw there, there's weakness in these other GC teams, okay? So let's get on the front foot when we can. Really good, guys, come on.
Zach Dempster giving instructions to Ineos Grenadiers, trying to look for an opportunity for Carlos Rodriguez to move up. He's 7th overall in this race, only 2:31 down, as this group of riders return to the front of the race. So as I just started, 10 riders in the lead. We've seen a problem for Vingegaard. He's had a bike change. He's on the bike of his teammate, Jan Tratnik. We've seen all sorts of action. Pogacar now testing out the rest of the riders. You cannot blink in this race today. You need to keep your eyes on it, because Pogacar is going to try out any little opportunity to break this race apart.
Yes, and he also knows that Vingegaard is not on the good bike, so he's going to take advantage of that. Even if it's a small advantage, he's going to try and use it to his advantage and take the most. There you go, the Decathlon Tour rider put the hand up. So the difficulty is, with all these riders being dropped, is to be able to do a bike change, you need to drift all the way till the back of the peloton, put your hand up, the car comes up to you, and you can change. So lucky enough now, it looks like the car have been able to rejoin the back of the peloton, and the Jumbo-Visma car should be car number 3. So they're not too far back. The problem is, well, in less than 3 kilometers, we're already on the next one.
Yeah, exactly. And as Zach Dempster was saying, the gravel sectors are going to come thick and fast now for a long period of time. So Vingegaard, does he risk it? Does he not? What does he do? After
Sector 8, they will have about 11 kilometers on the road. That could be probably the only moment that they could do it. But it's still a long way to go. When we hit Sector 8, it's 58k to go. So he's going to have to do at least another 20 kilometers, and hopefully in that 10 kilometers prior to Sector 8, have the chance to jump on his spare bike.
We're now going to head to the longest sector, 4.2 kilometers at Loches-sur-Ours. At Chaussonnay, it's a 4.2 kilometer sector, 1 star. Our front group of riders only 54 seconds ahead of this race. They've not been given any leeway whatsoever. This next climb of the day as well is a fairly hefty one. It's going to be the final major climb of this stage of the Tour, 3 kilometers in length. And we hit the bottom of the climb, and then we go immediately onto the gravel. The peloton has diminished in numbers with that attack of Pogačar. Not a real attack, but just a test.
How fast were they going on that descent?
80 odd kilometers an hour was the acceleration. Arnaud Delis at 1:13, so he's not too far behind, 18 seconds behind. He's having a bit of a hard time right now, the Belgian champion, trying to come back. 83.2 kilometres of racing to go. It has been a sparkling day, the sort of day we hoped for, the sort of day that is delivering. We go into Landreville, famous for its champagne production, one of the Côte de Bar wine growing villages along the Champagne tourist route. Little parish church in there before we go to the Côte de Chaussonnay and then down to Aiguilly-sur-Bois. 48 kilometers an hour for the peloton. Still not letting this front group of 10 have too much gap. A little narrow section as we make our way towards this next climb. We're almost there, 2 kilometers. Here's some stats. Tadej Pogačar's average speed on the climb of Sector 11, 35.2, and his top speed 60.2 before 60.3, sorry, before he started that descent and then took it up to over 80.
More land art.
But I thought you said it's just the name.
Yeah, that's why I won't put a note to that.
Thanks very much for being with us for today's stage. If you'd like to get in touch, at McCrossan, at Nicholas Roach. Who do you think might win today's stage? Are we going to see a win from this front group of riders? Are we going to see an attack from the yellow jersey group? How's things going to unfold? We have a rest day tomorrow. The riders are going to need it with this sort of stage. Team radio now.
Nice and steady, Derek. Always no more, absolutely no more than the other guys. And remember, Movistar have 3 boys here. And you're in strong company. Strong company.
Derek Jeep, the highest placed rider in this front group of riders, 5 minutes and 52 seconds away from the yellow jersey, doing a good job today, looking strong. Coming back then, Arnaud Delis is about to rejoin the peloton with Romain Bardet. Also Dan McClay is coming back. So another 3 riders swell the numbers in that yellow jersey group. Chance to freewheel now. Bardet says thank you very much to Arnaud Delis.
Well, there seems to be a bit of urge there for the Caribbean B. He's telling the motorbike to move out for the car to come up. Everyone's a bit nervous. They just know how quickly this next segment is coming up. And Aaron Boer made it back to the front of that group.
10 sectors to go. The next one is the longest one of the race. Onto the climb. There's the vital statistics. Left-hand side, 3 kilometres in length, 4.3. The actual gravel is 4.2 kilometres in length. Not an easy little climb, this one. In the front group of riders, 2 riders have won stages of the Tour, Tom Pidcock and Alexei Lutsenko. Stuyven and Van Gils have finished second on stages before. So a strong group, as you heard Steve Bauer tell Derek G, it is a strong group of riders. Riders who can win stages of the Tour. 109 now is the lead. Van Gils trying to just keep the momentum there on the right-hand side. Onto the gravel again. What's going to happen with the peloton on this particular race? How is this gravel going to unfold?
Oh, there's an acceleration from Visma Lisa bike. And it's Wilco Kelderman.
So it looks like they've managed to get things back together at the front after the problem for Jonas Vingegaard. David Gaudu is in here, still at the back of the group.
Yates is also at the back. Ah, there you go. He's not going to insist. Wilco Kelderman accelerating at the front of the peloton. Wout van Aert on the wheel.
Making their way towards the gravel now. Wiesma trying to take control again at the front of the group. Before Vingegaard had his issue, they were really in control. Onto this sector, sector 10. Pogacar up towards the front now. And going with his teammate. Pogacar looking to take control now of this situation. Remco Evenepoel moving up. So we've got Vingegaard, Pogacar and Evenepoel all side by side as they make their way up this climb. But Vingegaard wants to have control with his team, with Wilco Kelderman, Wout van Aert in front of him and sitting behind him, Matteo Jorgensen. Roglic is now looking a little bit better, isn't he?
And they're doing a great job there. Really stretching. Look at all these little gaps.
And having got back, Arnaud Delis is dropped.
Yeah, no, just this little drag there, but and it's Wout van Aert. Acceleration from Wout van Aert.
This is a good move by Visma Leasebike. They've also got Christophe Laporte trying to put Wellens and the rest of this UAE team into difficulty because, as we've heard on the radio before, they believe that UAE aren't ultra strong. Jai Hindley moving up on the right-hand side. They've lost one Visma rider, Nico, just being dropped on the right.
Just look at the pain on the faces of the riders behind. Team Wellens is in agony, but he's hanging in there with Tadej Pogacar on his wheel. On Tadej's wheel, you have Remco, and then the Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe team with Roglic, Vlasov.
A little bit of a split behind the Ineos Grenadiers, though, and it looks like one of the UAE riders just cannot close the gap. Look at Wout van Aert. This is a concerted move by Wout van Aert to try and put a few riders in trouble. Look at the face on Wout van Aert. This is hurting him and it's hurting everybody else. Look at the gritted teeth of Wellens. One of the UAE riders cracks, moves over. Sivakov can't go with this. He swings out of the line.
Rodriguez is just there in the wind, though, taking a lot of wind, but he's making a move back up to the front. Bernal doing really well. Bernal there in that top 10 position.
Little gaps opening up, splits happening on this particular sector. Sector 10 is one of the key moments of this race. We've already seen 8-10 riders dropped.
Yeah, between the wind, the gravel and the gradient, and obviously the speed and the pressure from Wout van Aert, it's absolutely exploding this peloton. Ciccone also in that group. And look at that, a lot of the riders who were initially caught out sleeping in the first segment are in here. Rick Costa's in here.
1 kilometre to go to the top of the climb, but that's not the end of this particular sector. So at the front it's Van Aert, Vingegaard, behind him Jorgensen, then it's Wellens, then it's Tadej Pogačar, Remco Evenepoel, then it's Primož Roglic on the wheel. He's got Jai Hindley. A couple more riders being dropped at the back of this race. In particular, the DSM rider Warren Barguil has now been dropped.
Whoops.
If you're watching the race, watch the race. 41 seconds to the front.
Especially on this loose segment, as you really have to pay attention on your trajectory.
Derek
the
G.
front.
Derek G wants to put the pressure on. Nico, you think of gravel roads as flat, but this is not flat. These really sting, these little climbs.
I never thought gravel roads were flat. Did you ever do Strade Bianche? It's not a meter of flat.
I thought today might be a bit flatter.
It's flatter, but not flat.
Definitely not flat. 2,000 metres of climbing on today's stage.
The last 6 sectors are flattish. But notice, look at the grade of them there, like 8%. You see, every time there's a vineyard, you need a bit of inclination.
To get the vines near the sun.
Exactly. So when you know you're around the vine. Oh, there's an attack from Remco.
This is a big move by Remco Evenepoel with 77.5 kilometres to go. The white jersey has decided now it's time to go for yellow.
And there's no reaction from behind. He looks behind, great cadence, in control.
Remco Evenepoel, well, Nico, we go back to a few minutes ago where you said Remco Evenepoel says he knows every single part of this course. And look at this. Right now, Pogačar has 0 teammates.
And it has to be Jorgensen who takes the chase on. Pogačar straight on the wheel, but look how good now is Laporte straight away on the wheel of Pogačar. Still has Vlasov and Roglic for the Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe team. Also, Mathieu van der Poel is still there. Look at him go from behind.
With Remco Evenepoel, a big move by the white jersey now. There's one rider left of UAE who's just got himself back onto the group, but surely right now here, Nico, Wiesma should turn around and say to Pogačar, you want the yellow jersey, you chase. Is that right? Is that wrong?
It's a yes and no, but look.
Oh, and
there
here
you go.
Goes.
There's your answer.
The yellow jersey has decided, well, I need to chase because right now my yellow jersey is going up the road and it's going to go on the shoulders of Remco Evenepoel. Vingegaard can't go with this acceleration either. Oh, is it Vingegaard just got there? Vingegaard goes with Pogačar. This race is full on now with 76 kilometres to go.
And there's a bit of a stall in that chasing group.
Vingegaard nullifies the move of Pogačar, and I think he'll refuse to go through and he'll just take an armchair ride. Remco Evenepoel goes round the corner. The yellow jersey, it's literally 1-1-1. There's just the main contenders going up the road. The motorbike shouldn't be there. Absolutely shouldn't be there right now.
And they have him there. There's just about 6-7 seconds. That's it. The segment is finished.
Off sector 10. Evenepoel gets into time trial mode. Pogačar is now desperately trying to close the gap. Evenepoel looks around, realises that the yellow jersey is there. All he has succeeded in doing now is taking the 3 main riders in this Tour de France off the front and being man against man in this Tour.
And now we have 13 kilometers before we hit sector 9. Are they going to wait now that the 3 of them are there? They've kind of isolated themselves. Are they going to go for it?
Well,
incredible.
It's just racing. It's just man against man now.
Remco puts
says,
the heads.
Are you going to work? Pogačar has had to chase. What a race we've got.
And at this point in the race, the only team that should chase behind would be Ineos Grenadiers or the Red Bull Bora-Hansgrohe team. They're the 2 losers at this moment. Oh, and the gap is quite big.
75.7 kilometres of racing to go. 75.7 kilometres to go, and you've got 3 leaders going across to the front group without Roglic, without Rodriguez. This is full-on bike racing, and they're going across to the front.
Yeah, and if they make it to that front group, and that front group is gets a little bit motivated again, they could go a long way. They could have a lot of allies in this stage, because they know that if there's 7 or 8 riders together, and only 2 or 3 riders chasing from that chasers group in the peloton.
You are right in saying, though, only 2 riders need to chase now. Rodriguez and Vingegaard's not working. He's saying, absolutely no way I'm working with you two. You can do all you want, but I'm just going to sit here. He's not done a turn now. He looks around. He wants his team to come back.
He's the rider with the most teammates in that second group. So he knows he wants to keep everything under control. He knows he doesn't want to be isolated with these 2 riders so far from the finish. He needs his teammate. Smart riding by Vingegaard.
But he also knows that UAE don't really have many riders in that chasing group, but he knows he's got a few.
This is why, if that chasing group comes back, he knows he has 4 teammates or 3 teammates. So he has an interest that that group comes back, and he doesn't want to be alone with these 2 riders, because if they attack each other in the finish, they might as well play with him. Just look at Remco. No question asked, just go straight to the front, and hopefully this will motivate that group.
There's the gap between the front group and the chasing group, led now by the team of Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. There's 1, 2, 3 UAE riders in that chase group, but Pogačar doesn't seem to be worried. He's quite happy to be isolated with Remco Evenepoel. Vingegaard just keeping an eye. He doesn't want to be in this scenario. So 10 riders at the front become 13 as Vingegaard joins up with Pogačar and Evenepoel, and Remco Evenepoel goes to the front and accelerates again.
And he's putting everyone in that front group under pressure. But if I wasn't...
Get closer to your champions with Supersport as we meet the athletes that are primed for Paris.
Bonjour, my name is Erin Gallagher. I'm a swimmer from Team SA, and this is my 2nd Olympic Games. Once I got into the water, I never wanted to get out, and I kind of always knew from a young age being in water was my happy place. I'm not a long-distance swimmer, and I've made that clear from the beginning. Yeah, 100 meters to 50 meters is the perfect event for me. Being a sprinter, a lot of people say it's obviously very easy, you only have to do 1 length or you only have to do 2 lengths, which I understand, but you have to be so precise. You have to be so perfect in everything you do, and you only have a split second to make a decision, and it could go either way. That's the beauty about swimming. I think we're always learning.
Follow Africa's Olympians, bringing the fire to the greatest stage of all.
A bientôt, Paris!
Closer to your champions, brought to you by Supersport.
There's not much cohesion there in the front.
No, Derek G goes on the attack. Ben Healy tries to go, so does Stuyven, so does Lutsenko. Pidcock is staying near the front. This race is just spread all over the Champagne countryside. It's like the champagne bottle's been shaken and sprayed everywhere.
There's groups all over the place. Great shot again, where you could just see how this race has been shaped. 4 riders have gone clear, 5 riders. And this might just cancel this attack there of Pogačar, Remco, and Evenepoel and Vingegaard. The pace has dropped.
Remco Evenepoel has tried and tested this out, going through to the front now.
Aramburu
goes. Vingegaard is quite happy just to be in the wheels. Pogačar sits on the back. Maybe a little bit of a warning, perhaps, Nico, by Remco to say to Pogačar, don't discount me here. I'm going to beat you at some point.
It's actually really interesting to see how these riders are continuously testing each other, but he's not happy yet. Remco shakes his head.
Stalemate on this stage. Vingegaard is not working, Pogačar is not working, Remco Evenepoel's attack has come to nothing, and they've let the breakaway go back up the road.
And he's still on bike number 7, so he's still on Traknik's bike.
Now it's free will. It's like three riders on the track, just completely looking out for each other. And now all the work of Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe is going to bring this all back together, and Roglic is going to live to fight another day. Looks like UAE have 4 teammates of Pogacar in this group, so actually more riders than the team of Visma Lease Bike. What a day we're having in the Tour.
And it's also a big test to see the teams. You often see the UAE Emirates team challenging the Visma Lease Bike team and vice versa. He's not happy, Remco. He was like, come on, we could have done more about this situation.
And the reason for that is that he could have distanced Rodriguez, distanced Roglic. They've let them back into the game. Another counter-attack comes from David Gaudu, but I don't think on his current form anyone's going to worry.
Is it Gaudu? No, 97.
Oh no, sorry, it's Pacher as well. They just let him go up the road.
They do look similar, don't they? It's not the first time that we both get confused between Gaudu and Pacher. The swing of the shoulders and the
way they get out of the saddle is exactly the same.
And Pacher normally has a bit of facial hair, but he still has. Yeah, there you go. And it's Tim Williams back in the front of the peloton, taking control of that Maillot Jaune group.
3 kilometres to go, or 2.8 to the next sector of gravel. That'll be sector number 9, the Plateau de la Côte des Bars, which is a 2.2 kilometre length gravel section. UAE take control again. Things calm down. You can chill out again and wait for the next attack. One of those days in the Tour where everybody is just playing out their game. Just a quick question. Heather Cruz has asked, why is Matty Morich not wearing his World Championship gravel jersey today?
Because it's not a gravel race. It's a stage of the Tour de France. And the same way that Jasper Stuyven, European champion, is not wearing his European champion jersey.
So they can only wear them on a gravel race, not a road race.
Yes, and technically they can only wear them on a UCI gravel race. For example, most races in the United States are not UCI, they're more promoters, but they ride them anyway. But I have seen in the US, riders have different jerseys. There is one rider called Keegan, and he's the American champion, and he has one kind of more fancy alternative American champion jersey for the non-UCI races, and then the more official complying to the rule UCI jersey for the UCI gravel races. But this is not a gravel race. It's a stage of the Tour de France that uses gravel trails.
This is the Chasers. We've got a group of 5 now off the front with 69 kilometres of racing to go. Pidcock, winner of Strade Bianche, Stuyven, winner of Milano-San Remo, Ben Healy, winner of stages of the Giro, Derek G, winner of stage in the Dauphiné, and Alexei Lutsenko, stage winner of the Tour de France. That's not a bad group up the road.
No, it's a very strong group. Movistar riding very aggressively today. Seems to be a totally different Movistar than what we're used to in this Tour de France. They've been awfully quiet.
19 seconds to the Chasers, containing these Movistar riders, Romo and Aaron Burrows. Zingle is in there, Van Gils is in there as well, and it's Anthony Turgis on the right-hand side. Another strong rider, Nico, Anthony Turgis.
Turgis, a couple of years ago, he had an extremely good 2 or 3 years in the Classics. Hasn't quite been there this year, but quite a solid rider, a lot of experience. He loves this kind of racing.
As we look out over this region, we are having the most sparkling day on the roads in Champagne. 5 riders lead, 5 riders chase, peloton just behind, which has now come all back together. But the attack of Remco Evenepoel sent shockwaves through that group, and Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe had to rescue it. So did Ineos Grenadiers. Nico, look at the wind.
Yeah, that wind, 3/4 tailwind still. But it does turn a little bit. The road will change direction. There we go, into the headwind.
Biniam Gamay is in this group, still in the green jersey. He did say he wanted to do well in this gravel stage.
And we're just about to hit Sector 8, excuse me. No, Sector 9.
Sector 9.
Getting ahead of myself.
Plateau de la Côte des Bar is Sector 9, 2.2 kilometres in length. We're through all of the climbs now, the main climbs of the day. The group at the front, 19 seconds their advantage. The yellow jersey group at 1:04. Aaron Burrow is in that group, and a little bit further back, Abrahamson in the polka dot jersey. He's still only 42 seconds behind the yellow jersey group, so he's got a chance to come back. 49 kilometres an hour as we take a look there. The yellow jersey group still contains Rui Costa. Looks like UAE have managed to get some riders there, and Pogacar's asked his team to try and drag race Christophe Laporte into this turn.
But again, I was kind of risky to be two abreast coming into these gravel corners. No problems there. About 30 riders in that Maillot Jaune group.
On to Sector 9. You can hardly see the riders through the dust that's been blown up by the motorbike and the cars in front. Look at that. The dust hanging over these gravel sectors. Wonderful photographs. The wind hardly blowing those windmills around, those turbines around. But this group of riders really going pretty rapidly. Look at the speed at the back. Felix Gall hanging on for dear life behind Alberto Bettiol in that green, white and red jersey as the Italian champion. In front of them is David Gaudu. So it looks like Laporte's riding a tempo. Vingegaard looks very comfortable. On the wheel of Laporte yet again is Wellens, who's just trying to match pedal rev for pedal rev, but it's kind of a show of strength by Wiesma today. They really are saying to UAE, we're stronger. Here comes Wout van Aert to show that they're way stronger. It's quite impressive the way they're riding today.
Yeah, they're doing an extremely good job. Straight away they regroup. Jorgensen doing a great work as well. Trying to not take too much wind. Obviously they want to keep him close in GC. He's part of the protected riders. But just again, they're not giving up. It's a proper drag racing between these two teams.
Ineos Grenadiers sitting a little bit further back now. Still a number of their riders in this group. Pidcock just trying to take a gel on board as they come off sector number 9. That's over. Onto tarmac roads again. We come off there. We've only got 9 kilometres till we reach the next sector, sector number 8. There is only one opportunity, isn't there, for Vingegaard to change his bike? You're absolutely right. That's sector 7. Between sector 7 and sector 6 is probably the only time, isn't it?
No, between 8 and 7. No, not even, because there's a climb there. Yeah, 7 and 6, but it's only 6 kilometers, 7 kilometers.
Yeah, he hasn't got much time to change and come back, and the speed at which this race is going on at.
Because after, it's every 3 kilometers is a new segment.
You wonder whether he just decides, I'm just going to get into this and ride. Bettiol at the back, winner of the Tour of Flanders. They come off that sector and they have got now the ride down to the next gravel road ahead, which is sector 8. It's a very long one, 3.9 kilometres in length at Trifran Amonat. It's
does he get a flat, or was it just too much for him? I think it might have been. Yeah, it seems to be with the wind. The wind has stretched that peloton.
Felix Gall is about to be dropped.
He managed to save it. Remember, he was on that ultimate group after the first sector.
We're seeing how pure climbers just cannot stay with the might of flat-out bike racers, and Pogacar and Evenepoel and even Vingegaard are just proper bike racers. They love the cut and thrust of a race.
And Yates is doing extremely well today. And here's the back of the peloton again. But that's...
Laurens de Plus is even in difficulty here at the back. Just shows how hard it is. Look at the speed that we're travelling at. The speed of that wind is helping these riders from the side to split this race up. 62.4 kilometres of racing to go. The yellow jersey at 54 seconds from the lead. The King of the Mountains at 1:46. In that group, the yellow jersey is Vingegaard, is Pogacar, is Evenepoel. Roglic is there as well. The main four riders have made it into the group. Rodriguez is there too. But every sector we're losing an odd rider here and there. How do you see this race playing out over the coming kilometres?
Well, this is the question I've been looking at lately, because we are going to go in through a whole succession of sectors, but with the firepower on both of these teams, it's going to be quite difficult to make the difference. So unless you're... I do think at some point Mathieu van der Poel is going to try on the flatter sections.
He's moving up on the left-hand side. Here's the team radio of Soudal.
Also remember, Remco, Vingegaard is still on the bike of Tratnik. He's still on the bike of Tratnik.
If you've just joined us now, you won't know that Jonas Vingegaard is on the bike of his teammate Jan Tratnik. And Nico, why would the team keep reminding a rider like Remco that he's on another bike?
Because you have an advantage over him. Because you're not as comfortable on somebody else's bike than on yours. Although they're very similar in size. Could this be the moment? They're drifting back. Is this the moment where they're going to change? No, it's Wilco Kelderman.
Bettiol comes back to the race.
So he looks to be quite happy with this situation. I mean, happy to ride his teammate's bike, that he prefers to take the risk to ride with the bike.
Felix Gall has also recovered, pouring water over himself now just to cool down. So Ineos Grenadiers take up position with Egan Bernal, with Carlos Rodriguez. Laurens de Plus just looking after Bernal, giving him a drink. Behind them, Mathieu van der Poel, as you mentioned, is still there, and he hasn't made a big move. He made a move early in the race, but he hasn't made a move for a while. He's been just riding in the group.
I think he's waiting for his moment, and he wasn't going to go on the attacks when the other three riders were going to go. So he's just waiting under control. And there is a moment that if he goes, none of the other teams have much interest in chasing him down. So they'll be looking after their own GC rider, their own GC battle. So I see a great opportunity for a strong, powerful classic rider to make a move in the finish. But probably later on, not in the first one, because there's still enough power for the riders to fight for position, and the wind is stronger, and now it's against three-quarter headwind. And also because at some point you're going to have to make a move, because the last 10 kilometers are back on the road. And this is the back of the race. They're almost joining.
The chasers, Aramburu, Romo and Turgis almost at the front, coming up to the group of Pidcock and Ben Healy and others.
And it's actually looking pretty good for this group, the head group. 1 minute over the yellow jerseys group, but if we don't see many attacks in the back, they might just keep on growing that gap.
This is the yellow jersey group. We've had one major attack of Remco Evenepoel, which came to nothing. It looked like it might be an interesting move by Remco to try and split this race apart. These are the chasers. Movistar have ridden a good race today, haven't they? But they've just been missing on some of the accelerations.
Yeah, they're slightly on the back foot. It's almost like they wanted too much, but you can't go after them for not trying. They've been extremely aggressive since the beginning. They sacrificed Gaviria to try and get that first breakaway back together so as they can go in the attack again.
The average speed of this race is still a whopping 46.2 kilometres an hour across the gravel. We are almost on the next sector, which is coming up just about 300 metres away. This is sector number 8 of this race, of 14 different sectors. This is a long one, nearly 4 kilometres. Derek G for Canada on the right-hand side. Behind him, moving through now in the pink, is Ben Healy going through to the front. A rider that Nico identified as a possible winner of today's stage, Lutsenko. We make our way on to the next sector. This is sector number 8.
And there's going to be a tricky entrance for the peloton. And if they go drag racing like they did earlier on, two abreast and that slightly curved to the left corner. And they just made it back together. Front group is all together. Whoa, there we go. Coming out a bit wide.
Problem for Romo. Javier Romo has to get his foot back in the pedals.
When you watch it for free, everyone pays the price. From creating job losses, loss of revenue, and damaging the economy, to supporting crime. Report piracy to our hotline by email or by scanning the QR code on screen.
Moment has arrived.
Closer to your champion. Patrick Nyemba.
Stay connected for every medal moment from the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. Get closer to your champions with Supersport. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by Sportybet. Play, win, repeat, and Heineken for a fresher world. Watch Euro 2024 exclusively on Supersport when you stay connected to DSTV.
Following, Wout van Aert wants to take the front position. Van Aert, oops, and a problem here at the back. Lawrence de Remco Evenepoel has got a big problem now. Evenepoel comes to a standstill on that same little section. Well, the rider who has attacked now is going a little bit backwards. Can he get himself back to the front? Remco Evenepoel now in a fight to make his way back to the leaders.
And obviously in the front of the peloton, they would know that straight away on the radio. So they're not going to back off. On the contrary, they'll probably just accelerate, trying to make it hard. They know with the wind, if he's isolated, it's just going to be tough. And straight away he talks to the radio. He's trying to look for support, but he has no one. Oh, and there's a bit... he gives him the elbow. He knows. Very fair play there from Enric Mas. He doesn't want to get away of his opponent.
Well, I think Enric Mas knows that Remco can bring him back. Mikel Landa is in this front group. So does he drop back now to help Remco Evenepoel? Wout van Aert, Christophe Laporte, Vingegaard all at the front. Behind them is 2 places back is Pogacar. This right-hander now, they take it a little bit more steady as they go through that turn. Where is the white jersey of Remco Evenepoel? How far is he behind? There he is, into that corner. He's fighting back. He's only 90 metres behind, but if the pace goes out and someone leaves a gap, he could be in difficulty. There he is, sprinting for all he is worth, with 2 other major riders in Enric Mas and also Felix Gall.
And he's going to have to make that effort on his own. He can't really count on the other 2 riders. Remco is a lot more powerful, but just look at Enric Mas taking totally the wrong lines. Big effort again. He has to sprint.
Look how stretched this race is, and this rider who was dominating an attack earlier on, shaking his head when it came to nothing, is now on the back foot, and this is exactly what this stage can do. You can't win the Tour today, but you can lose it. Remco Evenepoel in difficulty as he tries to come back.
He looks like he's in control. This is a much and that's the front of the breakaway. Oh, Maxime van Giels was dropped from the breakaway.
So at the front of the race is Pidcock, Stuyven, Healy, G, Aaron Burrow, Romo, Lutsenko and Turgis. That's the riders at the front. Van Keels has gone. He's tried today. He's done a good ride, but it's come to nothing. Looks like Van Aert has steadied things down a little bit, and Remco Evenepoel is about to rejoin the key part of the group. A moment where the alarm bell started ringing, but Remco is strong today.
And this is where Enric Mas and Felix Gall can give him a bit of a thank you. I don't think they would have had the firepower to come back on their own. There is all together now. And there's that breakaway, just a minute ahead.
You can just see Pogacar in that yellow jersey. Looked like Remco's changes came off, or he just had a little bit of a problem in some deeper gravel. Jorgensen goes up to the front to join Van Aert. Moritz is back here for the team of Bahrain victorious. Enric Mas can say a big thank you, Nico. Huge thank you to Remco Evenepoel. Vlasov is still in here with Roglic. So at the front it's Van Aert from Laporte. On the far side is Wellens. In the yellow jersey is Pogacar. Tom Scoynes moves up on the opposite side. Vingegaard on the wheel of his teammates. They've been pretty dominant today. Jorgensen, then Michael Matthews is back in there. That's good news. Mathieu van der Poel, Rui Costa. Also in there is Chris Nielands. Biniam Girmay is still in this group. So is Jai Hindley. Mikael Landa, Kevin Genier. Mikael Landa moves Remco Evenepoel back up towards the front.
Looks like we might have lost Vlasov in that group for Roglic.
Vlasov's a bit further back. Problem, and this is a problem for Axel Zingle in the breakaway. Zingle is gone. Look at this as these riders work their way through this sector. Only 270 metres to go for the front of the race to reach the end. Peloton still now at 58 seconds. You can see in the background they're not there. There's a big opportunity for this group of riders, but you just still don't know what's going to happen. Who's going to come forward?
And there's the acceleration for Lutsenko.
Alexei Lutsenko goes forward now with Ben Healy, Derek G. Stuyven tries to jump on the wheels. Pidcock is struggling on this particular climb. That's a bit of a surprise. He was forcing the pace earlier on, and Pidcock now can't go. Attack of Jasper Stuyven with 54 kilometres to go. Off sector 8, and Stuyven makes his move.
And this is where you make the difference. He needs to put the gears down, and that's what he is doing. This is the moment where you accelerate. This is where you make the difference between accelerating or sitting up. And if you sit up, if you don't have that power, straight away open the gap. But Lutsenko is not giving up. Jasper Stuyven was extremely good, and Laporte putting the pressure in the peloton.
This team of Visma Lease bike today look like they're just testing out Pogacar. Vingegaard looks around. He just wants maybe another look at who's behind him. Remco Evenepoel now is going backwards a little bit. He really needs some help from Landa now.
And also Ayuso was drifting there at the back of that group. Van der Poel really well in the front of the peloton with Michael Matthews.
Off sector 8 now. Only 7 sectors remain. Laporte looks around. Vingegaard's looking for a bottle. He takes it. Pogacar is still there. He's got how many teammates with him now, Pogacar? Just looking to see where they are. Oh, and Moritz misses a bottle. I don't see too many UAE riders left in his group now.
There's 3 of them, but at the very, very back. Yeah, he's no one with him in the front, though. This is where they need to be. Oh, and Van Aert is slightly off the back. He did a big work. Felix Gall.
Gall, every single time they get onto a sector, gets dropped. This is not his terrain. It is the terrain of Van Aert, who has put the pressure on and now is suffering. It's not the Van Aert of a couple of years ago. He's coming back from that terrible injuries. He just doesn't have that recovery time, does he?
No, but Vlasov is also being cut out. He was also fighting for GC. It's all together in the front.
Some riders going through some bad moments now, notably Tom Pidcock is going through a bad moment in this race. 52 kilometres to go. It's no surprise the speed they've ridden this stage at. 46 kilometres an hour over the gravel.
Yeah, Vlasov in 10th in GC, so he would be dropping down a few positions today if he can't grab that train.
So there is the rider who's won Strade Bianche. He's been on the white gravel roads. He would probably be the favourite in this group in normal circumstances. Maybe. Nico's not agreeing.
No, I think Strade Bianche is a totally different race than this type of gravel.
Who would your favourite be?
In that group, a heavier rider, so probably Stuyven or Lutsenko.
Pidcock is suffering now, and it is notable that is the case, that he's having a bad time.
I think Pidcock, when you look at Strade Bianche, obviously he's also preparing for the classics, and it's a different type of shape. But also the terrain is a lot more harder. The climbs are longer or steadier. These climbs are super punchy. They're 300 meters, but you can even see how Vlasov, for example, in the second group is struggling on some of the climbs, where, for example, Christophe Laporte is a lot more at ease. It's a different type of power on those kind of short 20-30 second acceleration than on a 5-6 minute tempo.
So it's really hurting a lot of riders now. Good to see Michael Matthews back at the front. He's not had the best time. He looks like he's in this group.
He looks very focused, riding very much at the front. He knows he has a big opportunity. He's one of the faster riders in this group.
Van Aert is now back. Biniam Girmay, problem for the green jersey as he goes back to the team car.
He's also done well to hang in there. We've seen him drift a few times towards the back.
Bernard, number 42, just in front of the camera bike there. Genier on the right-hand side.
Gaudu is not doing too bad today, isn't he? It's just hanging in there. Oh, crash! Big crash!
Left-hand side.
Seems to be a Red Bull rider. It was a dark-coloured jersey. What happened?
That was a big crash on the left-hand side. Who has gone in the ditch? Whoa, that was a massive crash.
Oh, it looks like he just went off the road from that little bit of gravel there. Yes, Vlasov.
Vlasov having come back. Wow, that was a massive crash by Alexander Vlasov. Straight in the ditch. Can he get back on or not?
No, it looks like he's going to go, but he's not looking good there.
Vlasov is back and underway. Just trying to check that he's okay. Look at this, Nico. Look at this.
Yeah,
crash.
look at here, the rear wheel. You see the rear wheel just went off the road. But this is also the problem when you're on the limit. You're on the limit, and this is when you start making those, well, a little bit of mistake. He didn't pay attention there to the road. The rear wheel slipped into the gravel section, and then completely lost balance. He seems to have hit his head. He didn't look good when he got up there. I wonder tonight they probably will need to do that protocol. Obviously, there was no medical car behind him. He did take a few seconds before he jumped onto the bike again.
Inside the final 50 kilometres of today's race, and it's been full on from the start. The front group of riders: Pidcock, Stuyven, Healy, G, Aaron Burrow, Romo, Lutsenko, Turgis. Behind them, the yellow jersey group at 1 minute and 12 seconds. Problem for Maxime Van Gils, potentially looking for the team car. Just the question is, where are the team cars? Vlasov has crashed. We've seen an attack of Remco Evenepoel today. He's then had a mechanical problem. He's back in the group. Still remains to be seen who's going to win today's stage. Roglic has had moments of difficulty. He's now back at the front of the race as well. There's so much going on this stage, Nico.
Yes, a lot going on there, but he's not happy. He's definitely not looking for water because the motorbike is on the side there with water.
Our next sector is coming up in 1.5 kilometres time. That will be sector 7 at Brielle-sur-Basse, which is a 2.2 kilometre sector. Time here now for the riders just to settle down and recover. In particular, Remco Evenepoel, who's had a bit of a chase.
Pello Bilbao doing extremely well today as well. Ciccone also there with his little track train.
Pogacar moves up. He's still got plenty of teammates. They weren't there for a moment, but they're now all back, having been at the back of the group. He's got everybody around him.
I haven't seen Almeida though.
No, Almeida is there. He's just alongside him. I just was checking the same thing.
Yeah, I thought it was Yates, but yes, he seems he's talking. He just said, okay, it's more my elbow. It's just a good reflex there from the medical car. It's very important, as hard as it is this sometimes, but yeah, he's just, it looks like it's all on the elbow. Yeah, need to disinfect that a little bit before we go back into the gravel. Obviously, the cars want to get around.
Well, this rider does need some medical attention, though. So let's just have a little look and see who is here. There is Almeida. Behind him is Ayuso. They've moved up. Wellens is still there. Marin van den Berg riding well for the team of EF. Bernal is still in here. Roglic moves up on the left-hand side, having lost Vlasov for a moment. He's with Jai Hindley just in front of him. On to sector number 7. It's Brielle-sur-Basse. 2.2 kilometres in length. Lutsenko doing a wonderful job today. Really looks comfortable and strong. Behind him is Aaron Burrow. And then Pidcock sitting third wheel right now. Turgis preferring his own line on the other side.
Yes, that grass, the problem when you're on the grass is you don't see if there's any rocks or any... you can just see Tom Pidcock just moving a lot there, but with that wind coming from the right, he also wants to be as close as possible to the wheel of the rider in front of him. And there we go into the left turn now, so there'll be more of a headwind.
So they take that left-hand turn. We've still got 6 sectors of gravel to go. It's going to be still a lot happening in this race. Still a long 3-kilometre sector, which is the final sector. Going into this next area, it's Wiesmann Lease bike with Wout van Aert going into this corner. And they're going to take it first with Vingegaard in second place. Sector 7 now for the yellow jersey group.
And Bernal riding well today. And Almeida on the outside, protecting the yellow jersey, doing a good job. Haven't seen him much today, but he's right there when it counts. Having a bit of a chat.
Just letting Pogacar know he's there, I'm sure, making sure everything's okay. Van Aert with Vingegaard in on the wheel. Pogacar in that yellow jersey has tried once with an acceleration through one of the towns at 80 kilometres an hour. Since then, he's had to chase down Remco Evenepoel. Vingegaard is still on his teammate's bike. A lot to dissect tonight.
Oh, and there's which one of the Emirates teams is that? Is that Adam Yates at the very back?
I think it is. Biniam Girmay is still safely there. Just in front is Steph Kras, and look at Vlasov. That's painful. He says he's okay. There's a lot of blood, but I think that's mainly from the elbow and the scar on that left hip, which looks pretty sore. So a long stretched yellow jersey group. About 500 metres to go to the end of this sector. Remco moves up towards Mathieu van der Poel. Just trying to get himself back together after that little shock when he had the mechanical, but he's okay now. But every one of these accelerations, Nico, costs you, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think it was a mechanical. I think he overshot the corner. Remember we said in the breakaway, I said, be careful, something's going to happen in that corner. That gravel seemed very, very loose.
2:11 to the King of the Mountains. He's still there and he's still riding well. And they're now off this sector.
And have a bit of road now, about 10 kilometres before they start sector 6.
Whoa! Overcooked it just a little bit. Romo of the team of Movistar just came out a little bit hot. Mathieu van der Poel moving on the left-hand side. The world champion, who still looks like he's out for a nice easy ride. Very steady.
There we go. Missed just slightly overturned there for Vingegaard.
Slots in behind the yellow jersey.
Mathieu van der Poel, I think he knows there's still a minute to go and get that group, so you're going to have to produce a big effort. A lot of strong riders in that head of the race, but I think he is way.
ስሜ አትሌት ወርቅነሽ መሰለ ይባላል። ኦሎምፒክ ሳተፈው በ800 ሜትር ነው። እኔም ወርቅነሽ መሰለን 2024 በፓሪስ ኦሎምፒክ ላይ ይከታተሉ። በሱፐር ስፖርት ሻምፒዮና ዓለም ላይ
Ladies, men will embarrass you. Kwanza makisiwa Nairobi.
Wewe ni size yangu.
#fearmen.
Niko na dream ya kuhama mtaani.
Kusho hizo si stories za jaba.
Ndio.
Ulidhani si radisha hiyo.
Ndio.
Yesterday we broke the enormous story of Shiko Mai.
I thought you did.
Wewe ni mafuta.
Vingegaard to take the bike back if it is behind him. He's not doing that though. He's decided to just stay on it and stay near the front. Let's take a look back at what's happened in an exciting race so far. ...199 kilometres of racing from Troyes to Troyes over 14 gravel sectors. A group of riders formed at the front. That group has predominantly been there and been stretched, an ebbs and flow of the race. On some of the gravel sectors, riders have come to a standstill. At this moment in time, Pogačar and Evenepoel were happy because Roglic had been distanced. Roglic just behind. He eventually managed to get back to the front of the race. Problem here where Jan Tratnik had to give his bike to Jonas Vingegaard. We can see bike number 1. Vingegaard chased, got himself back into the peloton safely. An attack then of Remco Evenepoel at 77.5 kilometres to go as he decided he wanted to go solo. No one was able to follow the attack until Pogačar and Vingegaard managed to nullify it. Once they joined up, Remco was keen to keep things going. They caught the front of the race and then they sat up. At the front of the race now, a group of riders containing some strong riders. There was a problem for Remco Evenepoel as he came to a standstill on the gravel. He came back to the yellow jersey group. As things stand, there are 8 riders now in the lead. Tom Pidcock, Jasper Stuyven, Ben Healy, Derek G, Alex Arenburo.
And here's
Javier Romo, Lutsenko and Turgis.
And now Rick Costa is there as well. Is that Gaudu? Looks like Gaudu as well.
So let's just take a little look at that green jersey group. It is David Gaudu, Mathieu van der Poel. Also there is Biniam Girmay, one rider from Israel Premier Tech, just trying to see who that is. They've made their move from the yellow jersey group. Counter-attack from the team of Cofidis. Everybody else seems quite happy, as you said, Nico, that everyone should just be happy with what happens as riders go up the roads.
Yeah, at the moment, the big GC teams are really marking themselves. Is that Guillaume Martin?
Looks like Guillaume Martin.
He's done well to still be in that group at the moment, Guillaume Martin.
Guillaume Martin makes his move for the Cofidis team, trying to get himself across to the chasing group of riders who have just sneaked off the front. So Girmay is in that group, the green jersey, having a good day out. He's joined with Jakob Fuglsang, also Rui Costa. Rasmus Tiller is in there for the team of Uno X. The yellow jersey group is kind of sat up now.
Yeah, once again, they're really battling one against the other. They don't really care about what the rest. If it arrives in a bunch sprint, obviously there's no interest from any of those teams. So at the moment, they're just kind of trying to catch each other out in the next sectors. Still 6 of them.
6 sectors of gravel to go on the the next one is the Route de Grand Tour, where you just feel terrible for days and then suddenly everything comes good. Is it weird how the body can work?
I think he's just always pacing. I think he's just fully in control and doing... I don't think he was struggling that much. Obviously the pace has been high, he hasn't raced, but I think he was just taking it day by day and using the first few days as almost like a proper training block.
No, in terms of Michael Matthews.
Oh, excuse me, I thought you were talking about Van der Poel. Wrong Matthews.
Yeah, there's 2 Matthews.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Michael Matthews is one of the best riders in the world, and it can take a few days, and also, you know, when you don't find the stages for you, it's hard to find that motivation. As one of the top sprinters for many years, he's there and he doesn't want to get involved with Groenewegen. At the Italian stages were too difficult for him. The TT is not really his thing. So you're kind of in the middle, and you're not finding your ground, and you're like, I'm here, but I'm not enjoying it. There's no stages for me so far. So sometimes you're struggling, but also because mentally you haven't switched on.
Now he's managed to get himself in a good group. Costa is in there, former world champion. You can see the rainbow bands on the sleeve. And a good move here for Jakob Fuglsang, the oldest rider in the race.
Jakob Fuglsang, also a rider that we haven't seen at his best for the first 7 stages. But a rider who's also very good. He's done extremely well in Strade Bianche in the past.
Winner of Liège-Bastogne-Liège. And as you identified a little while ago, these tough little climbs up and down all day, really hard race. Fuglsang likes that sort of terrain, doesn't mind it at all.
No, he doesn't mind it. He's quite handy actually on those stages.
And
very versatile rider.
Biker as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, world champion mountain bike junior, or I think, or
yes.
the 23. Yeah, junior.
So Rasmus Tiller goes to the front with Fuglsang. Mathieu van der Poel is starting to make his move. Matthews is with him, Girmay, and in the group of the yellow jersey, things have calmed down considerably to what they've been like over the last couple of hours.
And a lot of riders have made it back to that group.
Race radio.
So guys, full concentration. If we're still not there, riders are tired, riders are nervous. Use your brain, in and out, and keep the focus.
An important message then, isn't it? Because it is getting to that point in the race where we've seen Vlasov had a crash and other things are happening.
I mean, the racing has been absolutely immense and everyone's on the limits. So it's just about switching on, keeping that concentration levels high. Every single mistake can be lethal there for the race.
I think if Bora Hansgrohe get to the end of this stage with Roglic still sitting 4th overall at 1:36, they're going to be smiling ear to ear tonight, aren't they?
Yes, he's been caught out quite a bit. They've done well to always kind of save him, though. They've defended it really well. They were never under extreme pressure. They were under pressure, but extreme pressure. 1 minute.
Van der Poel working with these riders. Girmay going through in that green jersey. David Gaudu in the best position he's been in this race so far. Costa on the back.
Yeah,
We've talked about Rui Costa before. I remember in races he doesn't do more work than is necessary.
No, and he's not going to ride because he's got his teammate up the road.
Clever rider. Very, very clever rider.
When he can. Sorry. Yes. Because, for example, the Israel team also have a ride up the front, but they have a different interest where for them it's good if they come back. There's a much faster sprinter behind. Where in the front, he's probably not the fastest man of that group.
So the race situation, if you're just joining us now, where have you been? Because you've missed an absolute blockbuster today. It's been fantastic. We've got a front group of 8. Tom Pidcock, Jasper Stuyven, Ben Healy, Derek G, Alex Arenborough, Javier Romo, Alexei Lutsenko, Anthony Turgis. Behind them, the group is advancing. That contains Michael Matthews, David Ster, Jakob Fuglsang, Biniam Girmay, Rasmus Tiller. It looks like the wind is starting to be in the face now.
Yes, it's more of a headwind on the way back.
"55 seconds. The Maillot group has gone out already to 2:15. So they've lost 1 minute and 20 seconds now already since that attack. And that attack only happened 5 kilometers ago. So they really have slowed up in the yellow jersey group.
They might, again, they will have the acceleration for the entrance of this next segment. And now the two groups, they can see each other. That's always a good motivation when you're chasing. You have a point to look forward. And you can just see they're full on headwind.
Yeah, really difficult. They're going to turn though and get side wind in a second.
And we're 3 kilometers till sector number 6.
The Rue de Paradis is the next sector. Are they going to make the junction there or a little while later? It has been some day on the gravel roads of Champagne. So our front group of riders working well, just rolling through, keeping everybody motivated. Nico, there's our 3D position.
Here's the head of the race with just under a minute now with the group Van der Poel. And there's the gap, 640 meters. And now the group Van der Poel to the group Maillot Jaune, the yellow jersey, 1.1 kilometer, which is about 1 minute 20. And you could just see the sectors just across there, up the head, and that wind coming from the left.
So there's the advancing party from the yellow jersey group. Michael Matthews trying to work through and keep this going. Let us know who you think might win today's stage. At Ant Macross and at Nicholas Roach is where you can get hold of us on social media to give us your predictions. What's going to happen? Is Van der Poel going to make the front? Is he going to win the stage? Clearly he's put a mark against this one. Is Stuyven going to win? Is Pidcock going to win? Is there going to be attack of the Canadian Derek G to go and get a dream scenario of winning a stage? What is going to happen? We still don't know with 35 kilometers to go.
Yeah, at this point in the race, absolutely everything can happen. And also there's like Mathieu Van der Poel, he has to sprint to get some pretty solid riders there. Yes, he is the favorite on the cobbles or on the gravel or whatever terrain, but not always the favorite on a proper bunch sprint.
Back to the team car. It's been a while since we've seen team cars.
Yes.
Proper looking after riders. They've finally got onto wider roads. Mathieu Van der Poel having a chat. This could be the moment Alpecin de Koenig's Tour de France turns around its fortunes. There's the pink Cadillac, a VF Education Easy Post. Rui Costa. This is the front of the yellow jersey group, dust-clad riders as they make their way towards the finish. Look at Bob Jungels, absolutely covered in dust. Left-hand side, Kelderman still there, still doing a good job.
And Abrahamson is back in that group. I know you like to look out for him.
The King of the Mountains. He's done a great few stages, hasn't he? 9 days and he's still at the front of the race. Even after yesterday, was 170 odd kilometers in the lead.
In his interview, he laughed and he said in L'Equipe, when the journalists asked him if he wasn't going to pay it today, he says, no, it was an opener.
He's doing a great race so far. I fear for his legs in the week 3 though, but so far he's going all right. 2:20. Nico, we haven't had time for your recipe today.
No.
It's been full on.
Well, there's not much happening around here, but so I'll be really quick because I literally have 2 kilometers. So you have the andouillette de Troyes, which is a sausage that is marinated and boiled, and then it's grilled. And that's very, very hard to digest. So unless you want to try something.
On to the
next
sector coming up. We'll get the main course in a minute. Or is that the main course?
Oh, that's a proper main course.
Okay, we'll do the dessert in a second. On to the next sector of gravel. Turning right, I think they'll get the thing just in front of them. This should be sector number 6. They come off this and go on to sector 5 very, very quickly.
And the gap's still 1 minute. And that was probably one of the shortest sectors.
This is sector 6. We've just gone on to it now, so I thought it was just as you turned right, but actually it's where you turn left off that little section. Is this going to be paradise for a rider, or is this going to be an absolute shocker? Let's wait and find out. It's nearly 1,000 metres, this one.
And once again, it's Suchenko. Takes the front. Doesn't like to be on the wheel on those gravel sectors. Gives the elbow out. Jasper Stuyven. Aaron Brewer on the wheel. Turgis Peacock. Oh, Peacock, he's not taking any turns.
No, he's hiding now, isn't he?
I realised that if he wants a chance, he needs to let those heavier riders kind of tire them, wear them down.
We're seeing more green in the middle of the road as well. And you've ridden the last 5 sectors today, haven't you?
I have.
So, from what we've seen as we go on to sector 6 with the Mathieu van der Poel group, does the layout of these sectors start to change as we get closer back to Troyes, or we're still going to see this sort of gravel, bit of green in the middle, that sort of thing?
Yeah, they're much more similar to this now. So, but also less climbing, no climbing at all, not even a rise, and all open to the wind. And there's Niels Politz fighting there for the position, checking over his shoulder, sprinting for that corner.
And Niels Pollitt alongside him, Laporte looking a lot more calm and confident, isn't he? And it's going to be Laporte who's going to come into this turn first. Oh no, big move on the inside. Real fight for that corner, and one rider coming out in front. It was Laporte in the end.
Yeah, they're really fighting for every corner. Let's be careful on this corner. Not going to turn on tarmac, straight away onto this gravel. Coming in at full speed. Onto that left, sharp left. Here we go. Sector 6.
Sector 6, the Chemin Blanc de Rue de Paris. 1,200 metres of gravel. In this group of riders, the yellow jersey, the top 4 overall. Pogacar, Evenepoel, Vingegaard and Roglic. UAE really starting to force the pace.
And it's Tim Wellens who's doing that job.
Still Vingegaard on his teammate's bike, Jan Tratnik's bike. He hasn't managed to change and looks like he won't change. 45 kilometres an hour as they fire away across this sector. Remco Evenepoel's had a problem. Vingegaard's had a problem. So far, Pogacar has not had any issues at all on this stage.
And that peloton has been really stretched, but once again, the Emirates team kind of not been too much at the front. There is one helmet there in about 20th position. But there they are, the last 3 riders of that team. It's a hard day there for Ayuso and Yates and Almeida, but they're fighting.
They are staying there, aren't they? But they kind of drift all the way back and then come back and say, well, I am here.
And that distance, that gap between the head group and the Van der Poel group is very stable, that 1 minute.
The journalists were trying to make a thing out of the fight between Ayuso and Almeida over the last 24 hours, and Tadej Pogacar said they know what they're here for and there is no problem, and they just gesticulating because the noise in the radio was too much. This is Turner now, who's done a wonderful job for Ineos Grenadiers today. A very good cyclocross rider, Ben Turner. Big acceleration round that turn. The next sector comes up very, very fast.
Yeah, less than a kilometre.
Pidcock is playing poker right now. Drifts to the back, goes to the team car, having a conversation. You notice that Ineos are starting to wear masks in the team car?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
I've actually seen them as well at the finish area when I passed by at the finish with the finishing staff, excuse me. But I've also seen photos when they travel with, they still wear the mask when they're traveling. I think they're just trying to limit everything, every single risk. There has been a lot of riders who tested positive for COVID right before the tour.
Yeah, you're right. On to the next sector coming up. This will be the Sector 5, 1.8 kilometres in length at kilometre 169. We reach that now. This is Sector 5 at Fresnoy-le-Château-Éclairé.
That was a very, very fast sector this morning.
What was the wind conditions like on this sector when you rode earlier on today?
It was 3/4 headwind, but what I found is when you get to the end, it's like a T-junction, like most of the sectors today. So you always have a bit of a change of wind direction when you get out. And this is where in the peloton is really going to stretch.
Group of Van der Poel is 45 seconds behind now. David Benison rooting for Derek Jeet this afternoon. Can he bring home a big victory? Well, they've got to hold off Van der Poel as he makes his way now onto this sector. Van der Poel is still advancing, but he's 46 seconds behind with Girmay, with Fuglsang, with Costa, with Tiller and with Matthews. Also David Gaudu. Here comes the yellow jersey group onto this sector. Getting ready for another acceleration. Wellens is the rider who takes the front position. His legs must be asking for him to stop this afternoon as well. He's done so much work.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to the rest day.
Roglic is starting to look a little bit better. Moves up. Can't see Remco Evenepoel at the moment. He's had to chase a little.
He is just behind Landa.
So Landa looking after him now. On to Sector 5. Only 4 more sectors after this. Well, so far, there's been, as I mentioned, that problem for Remco Evenepoel. A little bit of a scare for Roglic. No problems for Pogačar. And Vingegaard on someone else's bike. The yellow jersey is having a great day as far as defending his overall lead is concerned. This was a day that everyone said you can lose the Tour de France. You can't win it, but it's certainly possible you can lose enough time to lose the Tour. So far, we're lucky as viewers because all 4 of the key riders are still there. Here's Ineos.
Yep, there are no more climbs, guys. No more climbs. You've done all the hardest part, okay? So it's all going to come down to positioning now.
As you've already mentioned, Nico, no climbs coming up. Just an easier, flatter, well not easier, flatter sections now on the run into the finish. This is the key moment of the race though. Positioning is everything. Thinking about who you're up against. Are you surprised that the Van der Poel group is not coming back?
Well, I did say I was going to take them a lot of energy because there's big engines in the front. And they have to commit and really force the pace. And you can see they're going through, but they're also thinking a lot. And when you have a rider who's sitting on, it's always not easy. It always disturbs. Although they all know he can sit on. It's not a problem to sit on. And every time they hit a gravel sector, the gap from behind just comes straight back down. 1:30 now.
Wellens on the front again. Pogačar on his wheel. Is there another twist in this tail today? We've seen some fantastic action. It has been some stage to enjoy. The average speed is now 47.6 kilometers an hour as we head into the rest day.
So I have actually filmed this morning every single one of the entrants of the last 5 sectors. So if you're curious, go and check them out.
Alex Arenborough sitting on the back. Ben Healy looking for the team car. This is the yellow jersey group. Dust clad as they come off Sector 5. Now destination Sector 4. That's going to come up shortly. We've only got about 2.9 kilometers for the front group of riders to reach Verrières, which is the Sector 4, 1.5 kilometers after 175 kilometers of racing. Let's just take a look here, Nico.
Oh, it's just the way the angle of the cameraman was. There he is, that's the shot.
So the team cars coming up to the front of the race just to talk to the riders again. In fact, they're going past now. They've been told to go past before the next sector because the gap is 50-odd seconds. Nico, this is normal, isn't it?
Yes, it's normal. Trying to get the cars out of the way. Just to give a bit more, to be fair for everyone.
Because in that way, the group of Van der Poel doesn't have a load of cars behind the front group to chase. David Gaudu having a good day on the gravel.
Yeah,
Starting to recover.
He's enjoying it today.
He is, isn't he? Back at the front of the race where he should be.
And I think if he was probably riding for GC, he'd probably have way too much stress and be dropped and be under a lot of chaos. And I have to say, he's not one of the riders that I would have said he'd be under breakaway today. Fair play to him.
57 kilometres an hour for this chasing group. Yellow jersey group is not losing any more time. Adam Yates is back up at the front with Wellens, with Pogacar. Behind Pogacar, a couple more teammates. Right-hand side, Vingegaard takes another gel. Squeezing through towards the front. The Movistar rider.
So you know what? I'm going to quickly go to dessert because I was quite curious about this dessert.
I'm going to come back to this.
There wasn't much
time.
We're still in Champagne, so very much of what we had yesterday. Obviously, the Champagne region. We had the Prunelle, which is also a prune liquor. But what I found really interesting yesterday was they do a chocolate here in the shape of a cork. Obviously, the relation to the Champagne, but apparently the city of Troyes is also shaped in a way of a cork.
So what is it, the dessert?
Chocolate.
A cake?
Chocolate.
Chocolate?
Chocolate in the shape of a cork.
Okay, we need to get some of that later before we leave.
And they usually put alcohol in the chocolate. So it could be kirsch, it could be champagne, and that's Vlasov. I think he's hurt himself, Vlasov, today. It's been
You get that adrenaline rush, don't you? And then you're okay.
Yeah.
And then you start to feel the pain a little while later.
Yeah, when the adrenaline drops down, that's when everything hurts.
I would imagine Jasper Stuyven will be trying to find some of that chocolate when he gets to the finish line.
He has his own. But no, I know Jasper was really looking forward to this stage. We talked about it a long time. And they're just about to go into the sector in about 300 meters. So there is one drag, literally 100 meters into this sector. And then it's a fast rolling down, just about to come in there. And it's a side wind, but they're going to turn slightly to the left, so it'll be 3/4 side wind.
Sector 4, Chemin de Verrier, 1.5 kilometres in length. We've got 3 more sectors after this. Pidcock goes to the front just to set his own tempo. Lutsenko normally is the rider onto the front. Turgis is there. Stuyven looking good. Romo is still good. So is Aaron Burrow. Ben Healy, and sitting on the back, Jakob Fuglsang. This is a big stakes breakaway with a possibility of a stage win in the Tour de France. Pidcock already has a stage win in the Tour, and now you get the attack, and Healy starts to make the move. Big move by Ben Healy, looking to try and go long and win this stage. Pidcock has to swing off the line and try and get a wheel to follow.
Yeah, this is that little drag.
Here's the chasers. Tiller on the front with Van der Poel. Some big engines in this group as well, with Girmay, with Matthews in that orange kit. Look at the sprint going on for this sector. Wout van Aert refusing all of the time to let Niels Pollitt and Tim Wellens take control. In towards this roundabout. Very important little turn. A couple of riders having to brake a little bit. Pogacar comes out safely in 6th place.
And as the left turn, and they will see that sector. And Gaudu accelerating there on the... Oh, there's almost there, a little bit of a deeper gravel.
Yeah, I was just about to say, this gravel's pretty deep at the beginning of that.
Yes, but again, it's very... if you look at it, it's not all over the place. You just have a few patches.
I wonder whether that's where they've repaired the road. Because there was reports that some of the sports directors were saying, as we see the yellow jersey group come on, the sports directors were saying that some of the sectors had some pretty big holes in them a few weeks ago. Maybe that's where they've gone in and laid everything over and fixed the holes.
Yes, I think so. I totally agree.
Left-hand side, Wellens trying to fight his way back. What a job Wout van Aert's done today. Pogacar starts to move as well. Vingegaard comes forward to get on the wheel of Pogacar. This is a concerted move. Laporte refuses and goes back to the front again. This is a defiant show of strength by Wiesma today as Pogacar gets onto the wheel and they get rid of Tim Wellens now. He cannot go with that acceleration.
No, with Pogacar straight on the wheel.
Where is Remco Evenepoel?
Vingegaard not happy. He's like, no, mate, that's my wheel. That's the Gianni Moscon, I think. Yeah, with Remco on the wheel. And Evenepoel on the wheel of Gianni Moscon.
Moscon's a good rider to have with Remco, isn't he?
I have to say, he's impressed me on this Tour de France. He's kind of lost his way the last few years, but he's riding really well.
Ben Healy forcing 42 seconds. He doesn't want Van der Poel in with a shout of winning this stage. Everybody's got to work. They all swing across the road. If they start to mess around, Van der Poel will come back and then it will all be. Pogacar now launches. The tornado strikes on the gravel with 22 kilometres to go. Remco Evenepoel isn't there. Laporte is trying to get across. Vingegaard desperately trying to stay in the wheels. This is a big moment in the Tour as Pogacar starts to strike.
And Remco is caught up behind. He needs to close that gap. He's struggling a little bit there. He's getting dropped, trying to make it back onto the UAE Emirates riders.
In fact, the UAE riders might be about to save Remco Evenepoel on this section of gravel. And Vingegaard is in trouble now. He can't get on the wheel of his teammates. Christophe Laporte looks around. It is Jorgensen who's there. Here's the team radio. That was Tadej Pogacar telling his teammates, go full on this one. Now he is going to try and break the will of the rest of the riders. Look at Jorgensen desperately stamping on the pedals to try and get up there to cause a problem for Pogacar. But look at that, it's literally 5 meters and he can't close it.
He's, what a big effort there by Jorgensen to come back, but Laporte dropping back to wait for Vingegaard. It's going to be important, hopefully, on this flatter road segment. Vingegaard will get on the wheel. Yes, he is, but in that chasing group, Rodriguez is there.
Well, it's Jorgensen who's got there. Vingegaard is still dropped.
Yes, with the Laporte.
He's with Laporte, just behind. Well spotted, Nico. So Vingegaard is coming back, so they're going to try and create some ballast for Tadej Pogacar's attack and for Laporte to bring Vingegaard back to the front of the race. This is it. There's the gaps. This is the moment that Pogacar is trying to win this stage as far as time is concerned in this Tour.
And now it's going to be the difficult task for Vingegaard. It's going to be this gravel sector. Quite technical.
We come up to the next sector. Pogacar looks like he's a little bit disconcerted by Jorgensen being there because he knows he's not going to do any work.
No, but he's 4 minutes behind him. He should go again on this. Yes, he should go. That's the right.
Here comes Vingegaard.
And then it's going to be on the road, and big wide roads.
This is Peo Bilbao going forward. Abrahamsen goes on the attack again in the King of the Mountains jersey. May well be looking to try and honour the memory of one of the Norwegian riders who passed away yesterday in a race, Andre Dreger. Maybe that's what's driving him this afternoon to try and get across to the front. He goes clear from the yellow jersey group. So it's Pidcock, Stuyven, Healy, G, Aaron Burrow, Romo, Lutsenko, Turgis. Ahead of the group of Matthews, Gaudu, Van der Poel, Costa, Fulsang, Gurmai, Tiller, and then a chase now with Abrahamsen and Bilbao. David Gaudu looks like he's just free now.
Hey, he's having a good day today. Looks like he's also enjoying it. It's tough. But when you're in the heart of the race on a stage like this, it's tough, but it's super exciting. 35 seconds.
It's not far, is it now? They need to keep riding in this front group, but the pace has gone way down as they all start to look around at each other. They believe that this is now going to be their stage. 50 kilometers an hour. Romo goes through. Movistar really need to just sacrifice one rider here, don't they?
There's the attack. Tom Pidcock straight on the wheel.
So it's Derek G who goes, the Canadian rider. Pidcock goes with it. Aaron Burrow gets onto the wheel in the colours of the Spanish champion. This is another good move. Turgis desperately trying to close it. Healy with the hunched shoulders. Alexei Lutsenko out the saddle. Has he got enough in the legs to go with it? Stuyven looks so comfortable on the back. Very experienced rider, waiting for his opportunity as it all comes back together. Expect to see a Lidl Trek jersey go flying down the left-hand side of the road any second. And here he goes. Big move by Jasper Stuyven.
And they look at each other. He's got a few seconds there on him. Come on, zoom out, zoom out. There we are. Any reaction? It's G, Lutsenko.
Perfectly executed by Jasper Stuyven. A big move at 11.3 kilometers to go. He's being chased now by Derek G and Alexei Lutsenko. Can Stuyven now win this stage into time trial mode for this powerful rider from Lidl Trek? The rest of the riders trying to chase him down. This race is so stretched. We have been treated to an absolutely special stage of the Tour de France. What a race it has been. Derek G refusing to give in, but look at the speed of Stuyven now as he gets into full cry to try and win in Troyes.
And that's going to give him he's just looked behind. He's seen there's a bit of a gap there between the riders. Give him that extra motivation to really open up, because at this point it's also psychological. If you open the gap quick enough, you can discourage the riders because they start looking at each other. It's a bit disorganized, but G takes his turn. Lutsenko on the wheel. Ben Healy just about to get up to the start of this last sector in less than 600 meters. Puts the radio back in.
He wants some information. He wants to know what's going on behind. Stuyven is riding superbly, really dragging this race out now. Can he win this stage? He has put it all on the line this afternoon, Jasper Stuyven, to now try and win a stage of the Tour de France. The final sector is coming up. 10 kilometres of racing to go. Solo leader from Lidl Trek, Jasper Stuyven.
And he's putting a big effort there in full time trial mode. Ben Healy tries to close the gap, but no. They've reorganized himself behind, back in two lines. Is it going to be enough? Jasper's on a mission. Last sector.
Final sector, 3,000 metres of gravel. Nico, you reminded me of that conversation you had with Jasper Stuyven, who didn't know he was coming to the Tour de France until a few days before.
Yes, at the start of the year we had a good laugh about it, because his plan was to go for the Giro and hopefully to be qualified for the Olympics. We talked many times that it was a bit of a joke, because obviously Jasper just through all my favorite regions. We go in Italy, we go down around Torino, Barolo region, and then we go into the Bourgogne region, and then we go into the Champagne region, and it's the first year I'm not at the Tour de France. And then he gets a phone call and he's like, you know what, I can't really go, I need to work for Pedersen in the Bordeaux, the Barolo region, and I can't really do well in the time trial, so I'm going to go for that gravel stage. He knows he's done well on gravel stages. He's European champion, and he was also a little bit gutted he couldn't go and defend his Belgium champion because he was injured. So I know he was looking forward to that, being up the road, going for it.
This is Jasper Stuyven, the 32-year-old rider from Leuven in Belgium, as he now tries to win this stage. On to the final sector of gravel for the yellow jersey group. We're at 1 minute and 19 seconds. It has been an entertaining day for all of the fans of world cycling, as Pogacar now starts to make another move. This time, Remco Evenepoel is not doing anything. A big right-hand turn. Is this going to be another acceleration by Pogacar, who goes a little bit wide? Now he puts the power on. Huge acceleration.
Yeah, I have to say I'm so impressed with how Vingegaard is always in control. He looks like he's just always on the wheel. Remco very quick to get back there as well.
Also bearing in mind he's on someone else's bike and has been for a massive amount of today's stage. Vengegaard looks across at Remco Evenepoel. For 90 kilometres, Vengegaard has been on Jan Tratnik's bike on the gravel. Just shows what a class bike rider he is. Remco Evenepoel now goes to the front, starts to turn on the pressure. This is the last sector. 1:15. A group of Van der Poel is only 20 seconds in front of them now. Looks to me like this race may well start to close up. Remco Evenepoel starts another acceleration. Pogačar looks behind. He sees Vengegaard staring at him. 44 kilometers an hour. The flat-out, no holes barred bike racing of today has been one of the best days of the Tour de France we've seen. What a race it's been.
It's been absolutely incredible. And there's a little bit of... gives the elbow. Goes on the inside.
Jasper Stuyven, solo leader. 9 seconds is his advantage as he makes his way down. The European champion of gravel is trying now to get back to Troyes. A little acceleration by Pogačar again as they catch Abrahamsen just in front of them. So the King of the Mountains is caught, and Pogačar goes up on the right-hand side, and another big move by the yellow jersey. Where is Remco Evenepoel? He's suddenly been washed away a little bit.
And Ackermann riding really well today. It's been on every single move when these riders go. This is the dangerous corner.
And Pogačar again,
There's
he's
Remco.
Really trying to put these riders under pressure.
And Roglic is also once again at distance in that second group.
Off the final sector now. Off the final sector, turn left. Jasper Stuyven is the solo leader. 9 seconds he has as he makes his way off that final sector. So all of the gravel is completed for the leader. Pogačar is not too far from completing the gravel as well. And we're going to have the majority or all of the leaders still in this race. But where is Primož Roglic?
I've seen it in that group just there, where Landa is.
Jasper Stuyven being chased down right now by Aaron Burrow, who's trying to come across. This is a fantastic performance by this rider. Winner of Milano-San Remo, winner Umlaut Het-Nieuwsblad. He's a real classic specialist. Winner of a stage of La Vuelta. He's never won a stage of the Tour de France. He finished second on a stage in 2021. So, coming full, Tadej Pogačar with Vengegaard. Pogačar accelerates hard. Vengegaard is stuck to him like a piece of chewing gum on your shoe.
I was wondering what you're going to say. Aaron Burrow riding well as well. Okay, and now we have a bit of a more urban sector. And then at about 4.5 to go, you're in this massive boulevard that will take you all the way into... and here's that leading group, that second chasing group. Haven't quite given up yet, but... About 10 seconds.
They're only 10 seconds ahead of the yellow jersey group. Well, despite all of the power in that group, they've been unable to catch the leaders. And it looks like it may well come back together into one big group behind the leading group of riders. Stuyven, 5 kilometers to go. 7 seconds the lead for the Belgian.
And looks to be a little bit bigger now. No, still about that. Digging deep.
Perfect attack by Jasper Stuyven to go clear. He waited until everybody had looked around and freewheeled, and then he hit them on the left-hand side of the road.
Yeah, it was great timing, but they haven't given up in the back. And he's going to be in sight for the whole 4.6 kilometers to the finish.
So in this group, Lutsenko on the back in the Spanish champions colours is Aaron Burrow. Just in front, a couple of places ahead is Anthony Turgis in the colours of Total Energy. Can he give them a stage win? Romo is there. Stuyven turns right. Coming back to the race is Mikael Lander and Wout van Aert back into the yellow jersey group. Van Aert has been spectacular on today's stage. Michael Matthews attacks to try and go clear from the group of Van der Poel. But up the road, there's still a lot of riders as Matthews tries. Here goes Van der Poel as he tries to get on the wheel of Michael Matthews. There's so much chaos, though, Nico. I'm not sure the riders know exactly where they are.
No, they don't, but this man knows where he is, and he also knows that if he can get to that probably around 2 kilometer-ish, the riders behind are going to start thinking about not taking that turn and thinking about playing for second place. But at the moment, they're still around, they see him in sight, they know that if they commit, they might catch him. Most likely there's a bit of a headwind at this point in the race as well, but the closer he gets to the finish, and the more the riders in the back are going to start thinking about second place. And yes, they are at the moment. They're already skipping turns. Aaron Brewer wasn't taking turns for the last time he was on screen, and he's still at the back not taking a turn. Ben Healy has just taken 2 different turns. Riders starting to think about their plan now if you don't catch him, so they don't commit as much as when you're in the front. Jasper Stuyven has no question. He just needs to aim for that final kilometre and the finish line.
Well, he's got more urgency. I have to say the tactics of Movistar not necessarily playing the way they should right now, because if they commit with one rider, here's the team radio.
It's getting bigger there, Jasper. The gap is getting bigger. Come on, come on, come on.
Stuyven, 3 kilometres of racing to go. An attack so far of just about 7 kilometres solo. This is an all-out effort with glory in sight for a popular rider in the peloton, 32 years of age. The chocolate-loving rider from Belgium is going for the champagne in Troyes. Can he win this stage? 2.6 kilometres to go, and he turns left now. He's going to get himself to 2 kilometres to go, and as Nico said, if he gets there, it's really going to go in his favour.
And he's really digging deep there, just looking for everything. And there's the attack at the back, but straight away, everyone's on the wheel.
Derek G trying to attack. He knows that this is a big opportunity. Derek G wants a stage of the Tour as well. Romo needs to ride. What is he doing? They've got 2 Movistar riders in here.
And this is why it's looking good now. The closer you get, they start thinking, but Ben Healy goes on the left.
Big move of Ben Healy, the Irishman, as he kicks. He knows this is his best chance of winning a stage of the Tour.
2 kilometres to go. Another long straight till the kilometre. And then after the Flamme Rouge, you have a little bit of a bridge, and then the last 700 meters you will see the finish line. And the gap is just around 5-6 seconds. Needs to make himself low, go and dig deep.
What's coming up now, Nico?
So now until the Flamme Rouge, you're on this boulevard. You have to cross this little bridge, and then you're on the final straight. And just a look at the gap now opening.
Derek G and Ben Healy are closing the gap on Stuyven. Only 4 seconds now. Pidcock goes firing across. Stuyven is trying desperately to hang on. Healy and Derek G look at each other. Here goes Alexei Lutsenko. It's going to be about 1,000 meters to go. They can see the Belgian rider in front of them. Lutsenko is going to close the gap on Jasper Stuyven. Aaron Turgis.
Wow, he's done extremely well, timed it perfectly. Tom Pidcock